We're constantly surrounded by a mix of sights, sounds, and words. For us, making sense of it all is just second nature. But for an AI? Well, that's a whole different story. It's a monumental challenge. Today, we're going to look at a brand new model called coupled Mamba. It's making this huge leap forward, teaching machines how to process video, audio, and text all at once in a way that could honestly change everything. So let's get right into it.
So yeah, how does an AI see, hear, and read all at the same time? Think about it. When you watch a movie, you instantly weave together the action, the dialogue, the music. You don't even think about it. But teaching a machine to do that same kind of fusion, that is one of the biggest hurdles in artificial intelligence today.
All right, so here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll unpack what we call the multimodal puzzle. Then we'll introduce a new player in the game, Mamba. After that, we'll get into the coupling breakthrough. That's the real magic here. We'll see how it performs under pressure, and finally, we'll look ahead to the future of this amazing technology. Okay, first up, the multimodal puzzle. At its heart, this is the fundamental challenge, right? How do you get an AI to take in all these different streams of data, like what it's seeing and what it's hearing, and actually understand how they connect to each other in real time? Now, the official term for this is multimodal fusion. It's a fancy way of saying you're combining different types of data to get a richer, more complete picture of what's going on. We do this instinctively, but for an AI, figuring out the right moment and the right way to merge all that info, that's a huge technical problem. And this isn't just some abstract theory. Think about a video review of a movie. To really get it, you need to combine the speaker's facial expressions, their tone of voice, and the actual words they're saying. Or in medicine, a truly accurate diagnosis might mean fusing a brain scan with lab data and the doctor's notes. Getting this fusion right is the key to building smarter, more capable AI.
The first attempts at this were, well, they were pretty clunky. Some models would just jam all the data together right at the beginning. That's called early fusion, and a ton of important detail would just get lost in the noise. Others, the late fusion models, kept everything separate until the very end, which meant the different streams never really had a chance to influence each other. Either way, you'd lose critical context.
So if the old ways didn't work, what's the solution? Well, this brings us to Mamba. Think of it as a new kind of AI engine, and it represents a really big shift away from the transformer architecture that's been dominating AI for the past few years. So here's the deal. For years, transformers have been the undisputed kings. They work by looking at an entire chunk of data, like a whole paragraph of text, all at once. This is super powerful. But when the data gets really long, the amount of computer power and memory it needs just explodes. It's what we call quadratic complexity. Mamba, on the other hand, is a state space model. It's different. It processes data step by step, in sequence, but it does it in this incredibly clever and efficient way. Its resource needs only grow in a straight line, linearly. That makes it way, way better for handling long, complex streams of information. But that's just part of the story. Now we get to the real innovation, the coupling breakthrough. This is the secret ingredient that unlocks Mamba's potential for our multimodal world. And this really gets to the heart of the problem. A regular Mamba model is fantastic at chewing through a single stream of data with amazing efficiency. But what happens when you've got video and audio and text all coming in at once? How do you get those streams to talk to each other without completely tanking that incredible speed and efficiency? And here is the absolutely brilliant solution. Picture 3 separate lanes on a highway, one for video, one for audio, and one for text. Each lane has its own Mamba model processing the traffic. Now, at every single point in time, each lane doesn't just look at its own past to figure out what's next, it also gets a little summary of what just happened in the other lanes. That is the coupling. It's this continuous, dynamic conversation happening between all the different data types. It's genius. The researchers who created coupled Mamba put it perfectly. They said, the state of the audio stream right now depends on what the audio is doing a moment ago, and on what the video and text streams were doing a moment ago. This constant step-by-step information sharing, that's the secret sauce. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but does it actually work? Let's check out the results. Section 4, Performance Under Pressure. This is where we see the hard evidence and why this new approach is so darn exciting. Just take a look at this. This chart shows the GPU memory needed to process the same amount of data. The traditional transformer method on the left, it's a memory hog, eating up over 12.5 gigs. And then look at coupled Mamba on the right, just barely over 2.
That is a revolutionary drop.
Let's put a single hard number on that. We are talking about an 83.7% reduction in GPU memory usage. What does that mean in the real world? It means you can run bigger, more complex models on the hardware you already have. It makes powerful AI so much more accessible. And it's not just about saving memory. It's also about speed. Coupled Mamba is almost 50% faster at actually making its predictions. For any app that needs to think on its feet in real time, from a self-driving car to a live translation app, a speed boost like that is an absolute game changer. So right now you might be thinking, okay, it's faster and it's lighter, but did they sacrifice accuracy? Is it as smart? And the answer is yes. In fact, it's actually smarter. On 3 key industry benchmarks, coupled Mamba set a new state-of-the-art for accuracy. It's not just more efficient, it's more effective. All right, let's bring this all home in our final section, the future of fusion. Let's talk about why this breakthrough really matters. This amazing combination of efficiency and accuracy just throws the doors wide open for incredible applications. We're talking about AI that has a far more nuanced grasp of human emotion, systems that can look at a movie poster and read a plot summary to classify its genre, or medical tools that can fuse all sorts of patient data to make better, faster diagnoses. And maybe the most impressive part, it's incredibly tough. It still performs really well, even if one of the data streams, like the audio, is completely missing.
So, the most important thing to take away from all this is that coupled Mamba isn't just a small tweak on an old idea. It represents a new and fundamentally more efficient foundation for building AI that can perceive and reason about our complex world in a way that's much closer to how we humans do it. And that really leaves us with one final big thought to chew on. If we can keep going down this path, building AIs that can fuse